those hearts. Tap those hearts. Okay? Tap those hearts. Please and thank you. Playbook. Oh yeah. Let's go to forget. Save. Perfect. Tap those hearts, guys. Welcome to the live. This is your host, Dr. Cheapest Sunflower. Back with another live talking about your emotional portfolio. Okay? So, alright. Come in the room, tap those hearts. Welcome to the Hood to Hooded podcast. And I'm going to be on here for a little minute. So go grab you something to drink and come back and chill with your girl. Alright? Let me know how you feeling, how your day going. And let me know what's up. I see you, Leash. But anywho, we talking about. I know you probably ain't gonna come live. uh, we talking about emotional portfolio, and these glasses are really freaking blinding me right now. Are they dirty? Emotional portfolio. What do y'all think that means? Evaluating your emotional portfolio, and you know, this live is just freestyle. So come in, ask me some questions. Let's chit chat, talk, all of that good stuff. Anywho, your emotional portfolio. It sounds just like what it is. When you think about money, you think about like when you get older and you're investing. It's like, what is your investment portfolio? Are you diversifying your portfolio? But what about your emotional portfolio? I just really love this angle when we think about emotions. Because we can always grow with our emotions, right? I really love this angle. So, let's dive in and keep it real. Dive in and keep it real. 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 So let's dive in. I'm just having a little technical difficulty. Whoa. So let's dive in. Oh no. Let's see. Oh, that is the right one. All right. Thanks for tapping the hearts. Hey, Leash. Hey, Boo. Hey, my cupcake. Love you, Boo. Hey, Leash. Did you hear it, Boo? Man, I love you. To my gorgeous, beautiful niece who living her best life. That heat hot as hell. She living her best life. Okay. Anywho, back to the topic at hand. What is an emotional portfolio? Tonight we're not talking about money. We're talking about something a little deeper. Your emotional portfolio. If you know what that is, tap those hearts. If you don't know what that is, still tap those hearts. Okay? Okay? Go on in and tap those hearts. Oh. Go ahead and tap those hearts. I'm going to be here for a little minute, so I'm not really even rushing right now. Let's see. Okay, got sound going. Emotional portfolio. Everyone understands financial portfolios. Maybe not everyone, but stocks, bonds, assets, diversification. But nobody, almost nobody, I shouldn't say nobody really audits their emotional capital and how you're investing your emotions and shit. Okay? Let me keep it playing. Let me calm down a little bit. But nobody really audits the emotional part of you, right? You got to be careful where you are investing your emotional capital. Just like your finances and your money, where are you investing your money? Where are you investing your emotional capital? And what is an emotional portfolio? Because you probably never heard of that shit, right? You like, emotional portfolio? Girl, what is that? Well, let's go. We're gonna talk about it. Your emotional portfolio is the collection of relationships, commitments, environments, your habits, your conversations. It's also, your attachments. So it has everything to do with all of these different things. And I'm gonna go over the list again. Make sure y'all tapping those hearts. We got a goal of 1K. It's free to tap the hearts. Go ahead and tap the hearts. Tap those hearts. Anywho, that gives you the energy to. That you give energy to. So your emotional portfolio. So this is a portfolio of all of the things that your emotions give energy to. Again, that list is your relationships. You know how fucking emotional those things can be. Your commitments in life to your career, to your job, to your kids, to your significant other, to yourself. Your habits, right? Your emotional portfolio has a lot to do with your habits. It also has something to do with the conversations you have and your attachments. And all these things throughout the day, throughout your life, you're giving these things energy. You giving your energy to relationships. It ain't like in vain shit. You giving your energy and your time into this. You giving your energy to these commitments. And you don't want to be played with. You giving your energy to the habits that you're doing. If that's working out, that's great. But if that's doing something else that's not really helping your body, that's not good. So you want to give your energy in the right place, right? Right. What else? Energy is currency. Cause we talking about emotional currency, what you put in your emotional portfolio. What's going on, Rosa Parkinson? How you feeling? How you feeling? Thank you for following. What's up, Pool Pusher? Oh, how are you doing? I'm doing fabulous. How are you today? Thank you for following, Pool Pusher. Hey, Queen. Hey, y'all. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, that ain't what I meant to do. I be trying to do too much when I'm live, but I'm just chilling right now. Y'all can chime in. You can really lead the conversation. Don't feel like you're in class or something. Like, oh, Dr. Sean is teaching and I gotta be quiet. No, 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 no. Do you do? Why would you ask that? You look like Queen Latifah, honey. Rosa Parkinson's. Why would you ask me, do I do that on camera? Nah, I feel like you trolling, Rosa. Like, are you trolling me, Rosa? Or not? What is the dealio? Name my thing is Cricket. I messed it up. Oh, there it is. Are you a real doctor? What you mean? You think I'm like cosplaying or something? You think I'm on here like, yeah, girl, I'm a doctor, but I went to Goodwill to get my degree. That is too funny. That is too funny. That I went to Goodwill. uh, Rosa Parkinson's. I feel like you just want to troll Rosa, so I'm gonna have to ignore you. Like, do I? Okay. No, no, no. No, no, no. You are trolling, bruh. Honestly, if I could block you right now, I probably would, bruh. I'm being nice. If you say so, okay. You say you being nice. We gonna pause. You say you being nice, but I feel like you trying to throw a little shade, cause okay. Oh my God. Oh, comments off. See, that's why I don't do kick comments because y'all be doing too. You know what? You know what? Let's see what's going on here. But yeah, we talking about emotional portfolio today. And we're gonna keep it moving. So energy is currency. Like now, I'm being distracted by kick followers who pretend like they're really here to chit chat, but they really just trolls. And you know that's the one thing I don't like about kick is that they have a lot of trolls, and it can be distracting. But I just have to turn my comments off for y'all, Pooh Pusher and Rosa Parkinson. I feel like y'all just fucking trolls. Like y'all really gotta find something to do with your life. This is what I'm talking about. We talking about emotional portfolio. Why would you spend your energy trolling on the internet? It's dumb as fuck. You get what I'm saying? You asking me, am I a real doctor? But you like a real fucking troll, right? The sad part is, Pooh Pusher, no one can see your comment but me. And I really don't care how you feel. Because you probably voted for Trump. You probably a YT supremacist. You feel what I'm saying? So you get off on just trolling. And it seems like you might have an IQ of about like 2. You know what I mean? Like an IQ of about 2. You feel me? Let's see here. Yeah, buddy. Let's see something. Chant. There we go. Oh yeah. And 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 and. Perfect. Now let's start this over. Oh, hold on. Mike Phantom, love and positivity. Yeah, I just had to go ban some trolls. And I also need to change my setting on Kick because, yeah, I need you to be following me for a little minute before you come to my shit. Talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Where my settings at? Yeah, I don't play with trolls. Your ass get blocked immediately. You start acting crazy. Listen, I'm gonna have to spend time out of my day to go block your ass. Preferences. And they make it too hard to. So I'm gonna have to change my settings on Kick, but let me see if this is gonna pop back up. The chat box is back open. It's back open. Anywho, we was talking about. Oh. I got kind of distracted. I'm back, guys. So we was talking about emotional. I kind of got distracted with these damn kick people, but we was talking about emotional portfolio. You know, kind of like what I had to just deal with. Some people be like, "Oh my God, a troll in my room. Let me give them some energy." No, I'm gonna just block your ass. Okay. Please know that much. So your energy is currency, your time is currency, and where you put your attention is also your currency. So this is your currency. How are you developing your emotional portfolio? Right? Think about that. Think about that. Right. Now, if your mind is constantly preoccupied, stressed, distracted, that's capital being spent in the wrong way. You really not enjoying your life. You just spending time stressing and preoccupied about emotional things out of your control, for real. So when we talk about your emotional portfolio, and like I said, you could just come on in, tap those hearts, show some love. When we talk about your emotional portfolio, you have to audit that from time to time and see where the hell you putting all your energy. And if you putting your investments or your time or your fucking energy into the right shit and people, you gotta really make sure that you doing the right thing. And sometimes you might be putting your energy into the wrong shit. You just might be. Okay. So every portfolio, I would say, needs an audit, right? You have to audit your emotional portfolio. So every portfolio needs an audit. Now, in finance, you ask, what's underperforming? I'm looking for my freaking. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. How do I pause this? Let's see. Pause. Pause. If you in each live, you could pause up to 6 times. Pause. Yeah, let's pause. I'm just be rolling over all of these freaking things. Let's see. Intro. Resume. It said the viewers can't hear me. Wait a minute. Is this thing on? Let's see some y'all. Let's unhook this Bluetooth. So maybe y'all couldn't hear me this whole freaking time. TikTok. Why nobody ain't say nothing? Why y'all ain't say nothing, bro? Where that's coming from? I'm so confused. Why is this thing like playing? I'm wishing on a star. Anywho, so you want to ask yourself what is underperforming in your portfolio when you do an audit of your portfolio. What's performing, what's underperforming, what's draining your value, and what needs to be rebalanced. You feel me? So when we talk about your emotional portfolio, you want to ask the same questions emotionally. What in my life produces fear? I mean, not fear. We definitely want to stay away from fear, y'all. Not what in my life produces fear, but what in my life produces peace. You know, what produces peace? Excuse me. That library is too much. But what in my life, I mean, what in your life produces peace? What produces anxiety? What produces growth? And what produces a lot of fucking confusion in your life? Okay? If something is costing you your stability but produces no security, that is not an asset. I'm talking about emotions here. If something costs you your stability but produces no security, this is not an asset. That is a liability, right? So, appreciating assets versus depreciating assets. Appreciating emotional assets. What are they? So, appreciating emotional assets are self discipline, education, health, of course, always health. What else? Skill building. This is appreciating assets, appreciating emotional assets. Kind of like you have investments with money and you invest and it appreciates, you gain money if you leave it invested most of the time, some of the time. But, this is about your emotions. Strong boundaries is also an appreciating emotional assets. Honest communication is also appreciating emotional asset in alignment. These will compound over time, and if you are truly invested in the right place emotionally, your emotional assets should help you grow over time. They should be a security, you know, provide some type of stability, and most important, security, right? If you got these assets you invested in over time and they're not giving you the security, they're not giving you like a return of your investment, a ROI, then this emotional asset is not going to help you grow or glow or have peace in your life, right? So, what is a depreciating emotional asset? Mm. Now, this is where it get a little juicy. Depreciating emotional asset. So, a depreciating emotional asset will be chronic drama in your life. Just chronic drama, always drama, never nothing fucking solid or secure. It's always like, it's just drama-fied. That's the depreciating assets. What else? Um, Repeated disrespect in your life. That would be a depreciating emotional asset. unclear intentions in your life and your relationships, this is a depreciating emotional asset. Say it with me. Depreciating emotional asset, right? Constant reassurance loops. This is a depreciating emotional asset. Delayed decisions. This is a depreciating emotional asset and emotional instability. These lose value the longer you hold on to them. The longer you hold on to the drama in your life, the disrespect in your life, the unclear intentions in your life, the constant reassurance loops in your life, delayed decisions, emotional instability, you lose emotional control, and this is a depreciating emotional asset, right? Because we're talking about emotional assets in your portfolio that can either appreciate or depreciate. Talking about what would we call this financial literacy, but maybe it's emotional literacy. You know, that might be kind of deep for some people. They might not understand me, but whatever. Anywho, diversifying your emotional portfolio is going to be key because this will protect your energy. This will protect your investment. This will protect who you are as a person. I'm going to tell you something. Don't put all your money in one stock. So why put all your identity in one person, one role, um one relationship in life? I mean, like, one, like, oh, I'm just focused on this, but you have other relationships like your family, your friends. You can't put all your emotional value in one single place. What else? You don't want to put all your money into one source of validation. Now that's key, because so many people require validation from different people. And as we go through life and you get wiser, you'll stop fucking relying on other people to validate you. You will learn how to validate yourself. You will learn how to look in the mirror and hype yourself up. You will learn to get off of this emotional roller coaster that ain't going nowhere but to a dead end. Right? So a healthy emotional portfolio is diversified. You don't want to be undiversified in your emotional portfolio and having depreciating emotional assets such as unclear intentions, drama in your life, disrespect, delayed decisions, like instability, all these things that make you lose value. But if you are investing in emotional assets that appreciate, and I will remind you again what emotional assets appreciate, this would be self-discipline. This appreciates in your life when you discipline with yourself, not other people, not being disciplined. Like, a lot of us get too disciplined trying to please other people and all this BS. Be self-disciplined, right? Education, that's an appreciating emotional asset because it's going to make you wiser, more intelligent, so you can make smarter decisions and have less risk in your decisions, right? Health, that's going to always be an appreciating emotional asset. If you focus on that, that's always going to appreciate when you focus on getting healthier. Getting skills, boundaries, setting boundaries, that is key. I had to learn how to set boundaries and tell people no a lot when, and I think as a Pisces, I don't know if it's like, oh yeah, but I had to learn like how to say no. Like, you feel bad a little bit, but after you say no, you feel so fucking good. Like, I have people who ask me for things, and it's like, I gotta tell you no, and I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I learned how to just say no. If I can't do it, I'm not finna hurt myself trying to please you. No. This is boundaries. No is a strong boundary. Saying no. No, thank you. Or no, you can't. No, I don't. No. You know what I mean? Learn how to say no. Honest communication. Now, this right here is appreciating emotional assets, especially in relationships. If you don't have honest communication, and you don't really have shit, you have a depreciating emotional, chronic, dramatic environment. You know, and it's just depreciating. It's not growing. You could tell it's not growing because you're delayed in the decision. You're stuck in one place, right? But diversification is protection. We said that earlier. So a healthy emotional portfolio is diversified, just like your finances. It's going to be diversified. it's going to be diversified with personal growth, okay? Because you got to keep growing. Your career growth, physical health, spiritual grounding with your community, and financial independence. If one sector dips, you don't collapse if you have a diversified emotional portfolio. So you working on the personal growth, you got a little bit of community stuff going on, you got your physical health going on, you spiritually grounded, you working on your finances. If you're doing all of these things in your portfolio, 9 times out of 10 you won't be emotionally starved, right? You won't be starved out. So you got to diversify it. Otherwise, if you put all your eggs in one basket, you put all your money in one basket, you don't put all your money into Bitcoin. Bad idea. You don't put all your money into this one trade or this one portfolio or this one stock or this one investment. That's very, very risky. And it's the same way when you talking about your emotions. Don't put all your energy and your time into one thing. It's like me, as far as, we'll just say, dentistry. I put a lot into dentistry, but that is not who I just am. I'm not always the dentist. You know what I mean? I got a couple parts to me. I'm a very complex person, and it takes a very complex person to understand me. And a lot of people just can't. Yeah, I'm this dentist. Oh, y'all can't see it on TikTok, but yeah, I'm this dentist. But I'm also this, person who loves pictures. And I'm also a person who loves to just be, lazy feeling. Lazy feeling, chilling out, just vibing for real. So, we were talking about diversification of your emotions is very, very intelligent, right? And if you're investing your emotions in the right place, if one slacks a little bit, you got your community to back you up, or you got your financial independence to back you up, or your career, your health, versus just relying on one shit. That's out the window. No. So what is high interest emotional debt? This is stuff that is super high interest. You know how, we talked about assets that appreciate emotionally, and we talk about liabilities that depreciate in your life emotionally. Now, some of these things that are liabilities that depreciate your life are high interest emotional debt. Meaning you're giving so much energy to it, you're giving so much time to it, you're so involved, it has you so wrapped up into negative fuckingtivity, right? Some situations feel exciting, but they charge interest, right? So just you think you're investing in love. We talking about from a love standpoint now. You think you're investing in love, but what you're really paying is your mental energy, your sleep, your focus, your confidence, and your time. These are high interest emotional debt that compounds fast. Peace is truly the principle. So you have to protect your peace at all times. Because if you invest into all of these different things, love and all of this, you really giving up a lot of you. But you cannot let go of your peace at all. What's up, love loves me? How you feeling? Thank you for tapping the hearts. Right? So, how do we rebalance our... Hi! How are you today? Feeling good? Feeling great? How do you rebalance your emotions? What is a strategy to rebalance yourself? I'm good. I'm so happy to hear that. Happy Friday. What are you up to today? Like, did you have to work? Sorry, I've been missing your live. Listen, I've been missing my own live. I've been so busy at work. I've been studying a lot. Today I would have been studying, but because I'm not studying, I decided to go live. I've just been studying like crazy. preparing myself to do, full implantology. Just like I've been really going in with the studying. So I haven't been live either. This is the first day I really been back live, and I've been on here a lot today. But thank you for tapping the hearts. I definitely be missing you in my lives because you be tapping on my hearts. uh, I really appreciate it. All right. So rebalancing strategy, instead of reacting when you go through something emotionally, and I'm talking to myself too, instead of reacting, overreacting, losing your peace, all these different things, just take an audit of your emotional portfolio. Maybe you've been investing too much time and energy into the wrong damn thing, and it is not giving you a return of your investment. It's not giving you peace, because peace is the principle. A lot of people think that something else is the principle, but when you tie your emotions to things, you want to get peace back out of it. When you being emotionally involved, you need peace in your life. Instead of chasing reassurance from other people, you want to build stability, right? With your own self. Instead of monitoring others, how about you monitor your standards? You feel what I'm saying? You got to monitor the standards you set for yourself and make sure people don't violate those standards. And if they do, then you don't lower your standards. You got to remove yourself from this situation, right? Instead of over investing outward, giving all your energy outward, giving all your time outward, not really having boundaries, not really, investing in your education or your career. Instead of doing that, you need to compound inward. Invest in you. This is where self-love, self-care, self-respect derives from. When you start to make an investment in yourself. This is going to compound over time. It's just like interest, but it's good interest when you invest in yourself. Investing outward is risky because you're not sure if you're going to get that energy back, right? Because when you build yourself, guess what? You become recession proof emotionally. When you build yourself, when you work on yourself. And we are all a work in progress, right? Because guess what? With emotional portfolio, this is going to determine your quality of life. You know what I'm saying? This is really going to determine if you're going to have a good quality of life, if you're going to be stressed all your life, if you're going to let people push your boundaries, if you're going to let people just tumble you over, are you going to let people just do what they want? Then you don't have no control. So, like I said, your emotional portfolio determines your quality of life, not your bank account, not your title, not your followers, but your peace determines your quality of life. And the most valuable asset you will ever hold in your life is yourself. Some people feel like it's the Ferrari that they're going to get. They feel like it's the new big old mansion they're going to get. But really, the most valuable asset you will ever hold in your life is yourself. And you can't let that go for nobody. You can't let nobody push that boundary at all. But as you go through life, you will let people push that boundary, tumble over you, back burner you. You'll be so emotionally involved with situations that really haven't really been giving you any equity. No emotional equity, which is peace, remember. So you got to get back in control and really take an audit of your emotional portfolio. Like, seriously. Okay. So that's the main thing we just talked about, but we're going to keep it moving. We're just going to keep the conversation going. Thank you for tapping those heart. Love loves me. Always showing so much love, man. That's why you got that name. Love loves me, because you show a lot of love. You show a lot of love. So we want to talk about the most valuable asset you have. And that's you. The most valuable asset you have is you. So we're going to take this a little bit deeper, because the emotional portfolio is a strategy. This is teaching you how to not put all your eggs emotionally in one basket. This is teaching you how to, have appreciating emotional assets such as self-discipline, such as education, such as health, skill building, strong boundaries, versus chronic drama, repeated disrespect, unclear intentions, delayed decisions, like emotional instability. These things aren't contributing to your life. So once you learn how to balance your emotions, things really get better for you. Because then you know that you are focusing on you, your greatest asset. Right? You are your greatest asset. Now, you are your greatest asset, not your job. That's not your greatest asset. It's not your relationship. That's not your greatest asset. It's not your followers. And it's not your status. It is you. Y-O-U. Okay? It's you. It's you. Not nobody else. And I was trying to do something, but it's you. And most people don't treat themselves like an asset at all. They don't. They don't even understand how valuable they are. They treat themselves like a depreciating, like, liability in their own life. But you have to treat your own self like an asset. Baby, listen, I'm an asset. Okay? Okay. When they say, oh, when you try to get a seat at the table, listen, I'm the asset. Okay? You are the asset in your life. Don't treat yourself like you collateral in your own life. Get out of that habit of treating yourself like that. Why do you want to treat yourself like an asset? Because assets get protected. If you own something valuable, such as yourself, because you own yourself, right? We're not back in those times when you had colonization. Well, it's still going on, but you get what I'm saying? Like, back in those times, you had laws and stuff saying you didn't even own your own soul, coming from the Vatican and the church. But we really know that we are the asset, and now we have to protect our asset ourselves, right? Because any other assets that you have, if you had a Lamborghini in your driveway right now, you would put insurance on it. You would do maintenance on it. You might upgrade some of the features on it, but you wouldn't expose it to reckless environments. It's the same way with you emotionally. You shouldn't expose yourself, when you're the asset, to reckless environments, right? You shouldn't expose yourself to reckless environments. But why do people do this? Thank you for tapping those hearts. Why do people expose themselves to reckless environments? Right? Why? If you're not going to expose your other valuable assets to these environments. What's up, Nikki's World? How you feeling today? People stay in spaces that drain them. You might be in a situation that drains you, a job, a relationship. Good, how you doing? I'm doing fabulous. Well, I shouldn't say fabulous. I'm doing pretty good. I ain't gonna even hold you. I'm not feeling like fabulous. I'm feeling pretty good because I'm just pushing through a lot of, you know, aggravation today. So that's why I said, let me go live and just chit chat with my tribe. But why do people stay in spaces that drain them? Why do they accept repeated disrespect? Why do they neglect their sleep? Why don't they brush their teeth? I mean, if you're the asset, I know how that goes, right? If you're the asset, why aren't you protecting yourself? Why do people ignore stress signals? This is why heart attacks, strokes will always be the number one silent killer, because a lot of times people stay in emotional, dangerous environments, or they stay or they don't protect their assets, or they don't get their proper sleep, or they feel something going on, but they just keep working hard and never taking a break, this is how you burn yourself out. And you don't protect your asset, which is yourself, right? Because you are the biggest asset you own. What happens when you overextend yourself for approval? I had to stop doing it. In my 20s, I was yes, 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 yes. In my 30s, I kind of cut back, but now I'm just like, no. I just had somebody call me today, wanted me to do this favor. I'm like, I can't. Don't put your stress on me, okay? I can't do it. It's like, no. If I could really do something when somebody asks me and I can really do it and it's truly a yes, then that's different. But if you really feel like, dang, I don't really want, just say no. Because once you say yes, you're not going to want to do it still. So I'm learning how to not say yes when I really don't want to. If I say yes, it's because I really want to. If I say no, it's because I really don't want to. You feel me? So whenever you stay in those spaces that's draining, you deal with disrespect in home or at work, you not sleeping, you just doing the most, not taking care of yourself, guess what happens? You leave your most valuable asset unprotected. The reason why I call that your most valuable asset is because once this asset of you is gone, all the other stuff you bought don't really damn matter. All that other stuff, the car, none of that can't go with you if you don't take care of your number one asset. You know, what good is it to be a billionaire when you can't even get out of the bed because you can't breathe or something, or you just ruin your life partying too hard? What good is it? The money means nothing if you, the number one asset, is not protected. So, valuing yourself, protecting your assets means guarding your peace like it's IP. Y'all know what IP is? That's intellectual property. You got to guard your peace every freaking day. Like, this is the most valuable part of you. You have to guard it. It's also being selective about who got access to you. You know, everybody can't have access to you in this season. You got to be very selective about who you allow in your circle, who you allow in your space, because some people just come to extract your energy. Because remember, your emotional portfolio is about where you put in your energy, where you put in your time, and where you invest in your emotions. Now, if you're investing in the wrong thing and you're not investing in your peace or things that get you closer to having peace, then you messing up. Valuing yourself, you got to value your peace like intellectual property. Be selective about your access and understand that everyone does not get premium entry to you. Now, for the young ladies out here, you got the men, they want to have entry to you, premium entry to you, but you got to be very careful. Because some of them only want the entry, but they don't want to protect your asset, which is you. They just want a part of the asset so they can depreciate you. But you got to protect your asset and make sure when you get emotionally involved, when you really start putting your energy into relationships and to the things that appreciate, make sure it is the proper thing for you to do. Make sure it's not draining you, right? So the next thing is, if you are the asset has to get developed. It ain't my charger. It's not charging. Come on. You gotta make sure you develop your asset. I'm just trying to plug y'all in TikTok, cause my phone always die on y'all. So I'm trying to make sure it stay charged this time. Anywho, assets get developed, right? So when land increases in value when you develop the land, right? So think about this like land value. Businesses grow when they're optimized, right? When you optimize the things that work and eliminate the things that don't. Your skills increase your income when you refine your skills. For instance, me as a dentist, when I first came out, my skills was very infant. I did not have a lot of experience, but the more associate jobs I got, the more I was left alone at these places to run the place, the more confidence you get and the more your skills improve. The faster you get, and then you start, as you get more advanced in your career, you start to do different specialized procedures. For instance, I didn't stay slow or doing the same thing. Now I'm doing surgery, oral surgery, implantology, different things, but that takes growth. So your skills increase income when you refine your skills, right? So you're no different. You as the person are no different than that. Thank you for following Nikki's World. Right? If you are your greatest asset, ladies and gentlemen, then your growth plan matters. What skills are you improving? What habits are you compounding? Meaning, don't compound the bad habits that get you closer to death. You want to compound those habits that get you closer to feeling good every day. Those habits where you can wake up ache-free because you did some yoga yesterday. You meditated today. Those are habits that compound and actually help you. The other habits, you know which ones they are. Eating bad, doing crazy things with your body. Like earlier how we talked about not letting every man have entry to you and just being very selective and not letting everybody have access to you, right? So what health metrics are you strengthening in this next season? Thank you for sharing, Golden Goddess. And being a number 2 gifter. Let's see who my number 1 gifter is. Love loves me. Right? So what emotional patterns are you upgrading? Are you still doing the same traumatized, dramatized emotional pattern for the rest of your life? Or are you upgrading your emotional patterns where you realize, I'm not going to react. I'm going to actually audit my emotional portfolio because maybe I got something in here that's making me angry that I need to get out of the portfolio. Maybe I need to get more involved into the community to help me decrease my emotions. Maybe I need to learn a skill. You see what I'm saying? So you always want to be upgrading your emotional patterns. Why? Because if you stay stagnant in a relationship, if you stay stagnant with yourself, if you stay stagnant with your peace, this is depreciation. You are depreciating right as we speak. If you're not developing your asset, which is you, your asset is depreciating. Point blank, period. Some people would just be like, well, I'm going to do it later. I'm going to improve later. I'm going to work out later. I'm going to have peace later. No, sometimes peace doesn't come later. You need peace now, today. You have to start developing you today. You need that right now. Because stress is a silent killer. And if you emotionally imbalanced and you depreciating in every area of life, that is a silent killer. Number 3, if you are an asset now, if you an asset, assets don't beg to be chosen. Oh no, assets don't beg to be chosen. They know their value. No. Anybody choose you knows your value. So you never beg to be chosen. A luxury property doesn't chase tenants, does it? When you see a beautiful home, the main thing is, dang, I can't afford this home. It's so nice and luxurious. They don't have to chase tenants. The person who fits there is going to come with the right qualifications to get that property, right? Because you're an asset. So if you think about yourself like a luxury property, listen, the person who is supposed to bring that peace to you to help you elevate, to keep growing with your portfolio. Because if you give in peace, they give in peace. That's really what it's all about. Then, you don't have to chase, beg, or borrow or steal, right? A luxury property doesn't chase tenants. A strong brand doesn't beg for attention. Does Coca-Cola, even though Coca-Cola does ads still now, they don't beg for people to drink them. My grandma didn't need to see an ad when she was drinking Coke. She was just drinking it every day, it seemed like. They didn't even have to advertise to her because it was a strong brand. You are your brand. And if you are your brand, you don't beg for attention. You are the asset. You don't beg to be chosen. If you strong in who you are, you don't have to beg for attention. A blue chip stock doesn't apologize for its value. Never apologize for your value. Always know your value. When you know your value, guess what you stop doing? You stop over explaining yourself. I don't have to explain my value to you. What the fuck? You got me toe up. What? I'm not. No, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. That's really key. Don't explain your value to people who are bent on uh misunderstanding you. We'll say they bent on, you know. I always try to find these sounds, but I got too many sounds on here. They always trying to, I don't know.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. That's what you gotta tell people who trying to tell you your value. So you gotta know your value. If you waiting for someone else to tell you your value, guess what they gonna do? They gonna discount you. You ain't for sale. You're not on discount ever. The price don't change. You're not begging for attention, right? What else do you do when you know your value? You stop overperforming. You just stop doing it. Because you're like, I don't have to do that. I'm me. I'm good enough just where I am. You take me how I am or you leave it. You stop negotiating your standards downward. So a lot of people, they have their standards here, and then they get into a situation where something doesn't bring them peace, and they feel like, dang, I know my value, but I'm going to have to lower my standards to meet here. Don't do that. Know your value. Never lower your standards. Don't negotiate your standards downward. See, even as a dentist, I had to stop, like, even with dentistry, because this can apply to any area, with relationships, with dentistry, with work, with just self-care, with self-love. It can apply to any area. Even with dentistry, I had to know my value. I couldn't keep accepting every insurance and trying to no. I have to know my value, because every patient isn't my patient. Every patient isn't gonna be a good patient. People think, oh my God, I want to take every insurance. No. This is too much access to me. I gotta know my value so that I can be treated for what I'm worth, so people will appreciate when they sit in my chair. You feel me? So, guess what happens when you know your value? You become calm. And in this calmness, this is your peace. This is your peace. Because assets understand scarcity. And if there's only one you, there can only be one me. There can only be one you. So if you know there's only one of you, this is automatic scarcity. So never let nobody make you feel like you got to over explain yourself. Like you got to overperform for them to choose. No. Never feel like you got to negotiate your standards lower to. No. You keep your standards high. You are a luxury property. You a strong brand. You a blue chip stock. You don't beg for attention. You don't beg for tenants. And you never, ever apologize for your value. Because remember, assets don't beg to be chosen. What else don't assets do? Or what else do they require if you're the asset, right? So if you're the asset, you require boundaries. We kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. You're going to require those boundaries. Okay? Every valuable thing has contracts. Every valuable thing has terms, access levels, security. If you allow unlimited access to your time, your body, your emotions, your mental space, you are running an unsecured operation. It's kind of like an unsecured credit card. You don't really trust yourself. So if you value yourself, you can't give unlimited time and body and emotions and mental space to one thing. This is not security. This is not protecting your asset of you. Valuing yourself, valuing ourselves means we got clear boundaries. We got clear expectations of what we want and what the hell we don't want. We got clear consequences when you don't meet the standards. And you breaking the boundaries that I set for myself. And it have nothing to do with you. It's about the boundary I set for myself. Right? We're not talking about emotional explosions. We're talking about clarity. So if you value yourself and you value who you are, you stop allowing unlimited access to your time and mental space Even with your job, you don't allow your job to run you raggedy all year. No, you don't have no boundaries. You don't allow a person to just, you know, have your time and energy and have you all discombobulated all year. You don't have no boundaries. Learn how to say no and stand on business about it. Or learn how to set those boundaries and stand on business about it. Listen, I have a thing with me. Like, I know I have a boundary with people calling me a BITC. You know, I know, like, you gotta really be like a close. When I say close, like we went to middle school probably. Then it could be like, hey. Then maybe not even then. I still be like, I don't like it. I don't like to be greeted like that. Hey B, no, don't. I'm gonna tell you now. If you see me, don't be like, hey B, no. That's a boundary I have for myself. Now, if you allow people to walk up to you, hey B, that's a boundary you have for yourself. You don't have that boundary. We two different people. So you got to know your boundaries and never let people step on your boundaries and value yourself. Okay? Clear expectations, clear boundaries, and clear consequences. Number 5 is an asset doesn't panic during volatility. She's laughing. Right, don't, no. I don't like that. That might, like, actually, I had somebody, hey, I'm a whole dentist. No. No, we not doing that. I don't know. It's the standards. I just got standards. And that's one of them. It might be simple. Somebody be like, girl, no. Well, you do that and let me do me. All right, if you don't know me, don't, hey, B, no. You've been waiting to call me that. You've been waiting to say that to me. And they probably don't mean no harm, but I just don't like it. Anywho, assets don't panic during volatility. This is when things is going like a roller coaster. They just going haywire like a storm. You know, your assets, your real assets don't panic. If your emotional portfolio or even your real life portfolio is diversified, if something happens, then everything doesn't like fall. But if you got all your investments in one property or all your investments, like I said, in Bitcoin, and something happened, then you lose it all. That's dumb because you didn't diversify your portfolio, just like you had to diversify your emotions. So you don't have all your eggs in one basket and you don't panic when something happens. Either you got your community, you got your financial independence, or you have your self-care, you got your knowledge, you got something, you got a skill that you can fall back on. Versus just having investments into drama, investing in the stress. No, we're not investing into that. Bad health, those are bad investments, right? And you, the asset, you don't fluctuate when things go crazy. Your assets don't panic. When the market fluctuates, when people's opinion fluctuates, hell, when even people fluctuate and change on your ass. You can't be volatile. You can't be up and down. As long as your long-term asset strategy stays steady, you're going to be okay. If your worth changes based on someone else's behavior, you haven't anchored your value internally yet. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Let's say it again for the people in the back. These glasses is hurt my ear. Take these things off. So if your worth changes based on someone else's behavior, you have not anchored your value internally yet. You are relying on someone else to determine how valuable you are. And if they think you a piece of crap, then you're like, oh my God, they think I'm nothing. They think I'm a nobody. Oh my gosh, they don't value me. Like, what? That's like people won't go live because they're like, the trolls. Listen, I get trolls. You see, the trolls came here. I had to turn the chat off because they was going hard. Like, the trolls was like some super YTs because it's like, where you come from, bro? Like, I had to turn the chat off on Kick because they was just going in. Like, what? But that don't determine your value. That's just some side stuff. You can't even let that go internally. But a lot of people base their internal person who they are off of the volatility. Volatility. I see in volatility. Volatility off of the changes that come abruptly. They just up and down. This happened. You got to get emotional control. So part of having your emotional portfolio balance is having that emotional control where you don't fluctuate like that. Right? You can't make your worth based off someone else's behavior. Your value is intrinsic. It's not reactive. It doesn't respond when people act stupid. It don't do that. It stays kind of in the same range. Like, oh, you acting stupid? Let me reevaluate my portfolio on your ass. Number 6, self-worth is built, not declared. Some people will declare their self-worth, go to Facebook. Yes, I'm so self-worthy, I guess. But self-worth is built. It's not declared for the internet. Saying you know your self-worth or I know my worth is easy. It's easy to say, yeah, I know my worth. Do you really know your worth? You really did the math on it? But real value comes from keeping promises to yourself, right? Did you keep the promise to yourself? Did you? It comes from following through on your discipline. Did you show up to that gym today like you said you would? I know I didn't today. I'm guilty. We all are work in progress. That means I'm still working on my self-worth because I'm not doing everything that's building the asset that I am. Are you investing in your health? Are you investing in your knowledge? This gives you the value of knowing your self-worth. When you are investing, this comes out to be your self-worth. Making decisions that are aligned with your future. This is value. Sometimes you have to make very tough decisions that you didn't think you would have to make, but something happened where shit just ain't aligning and you gotta pivot. It's okay. If you're doing this decision to align with your future self, then I say go for it. Because confidence is a dividend of self-trust. When you trust yourself, you're going to get confidence and you're going to move like you are this valuable person. When I walk into the room, I have to learn how to hold my head up high and stand tall when I walk into the room, especially like if I go to different conferences and classes and courses and I'm the only melanated doctor. I can't walk in here like, oh my God. And I got to walk in here head high and keep my self-worth, because it's not about the people in the room. I know my self-worth and you not finna have me feeling no type of way. I'm walking in confidence. I'm walking in, head high, knowledgeable, friendly, kind, putting on for the culture. I put on for the culture, right? Put on, hi, yeah, I'm Dr. Sean. Are you assistant? No, not. I haven't got that in a long time. Are you the assistant? I used to get that a lot, but I haven't got it in a while. Probably because I'm in my own practice. But in other people's practice, baby, listen. They always think you the assistant. They see, you're the assistant, right? No, bitch. Let me start acting ghetto. Anywho, number 7, treat yourself like a long-term investment. Right? Long-term investment, because you with yourself for the rest of your life. I mean, don't no other investment go that long at all. That's probably the longest investment you have is your own life, right? If I invested in myself consistently, just ask yourself this. If you invest in yourself consistently for 5 years, physically, mentally, financially, and emotionally, what would your life look like if you do this? What is it going to look like? Just think about it. If you invested in yourself for 5 years, only 5 years, you was working out, you not letting people push you, you know your worth, you financially free. Three freaking words, and I know that Doc is running her show. Oh, I thought you was a troll. Pitt, I thought you was a troll. I was like, I've been getting a lot of trolls in here. Right? So now you want to ask yourself, what if you stop over investing in yourself? You know, where you gonna get your value from if you stop investing in yourself? Then what does your self-worth become? Right? Because if you're investing in yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially, your self-worth is going to improve. But if you stop investing in yourself, right, it depreciates. You don't have no return of value. Your asset value declines. Okay? Your future looks like you don't even know what it looks like because you're not investing. And this is what happens when people get older. They stop investing. They feel the age. They let the life beat them down, and they feel like they're not valuable. Then they let other people lie like they're not valuable because they're older. They feel like they can't do nothing. Don't let people play on you. I don't care if you're 60. You can still invest physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. I see 80-year-old people invest physically, emotionally, mentally, and financially. I seen a 92-year, one of my patients was 92 or 94. Still coming to the dentist. She was still getting her nails done. She was still getting her cleanings every 6 months. If that's not a testament of investing in yourself, I don't know what is. I done seen it. I done seen somebody be 90 plus years old and making that investment in themselves. And she was like, yeah, I get my, I think she got the nail color salmon every time. I was like, dang, she was like, yeah, I've been getting this nail color for 40 years or something. I was like, dang. I'm like, they still got that color? You know what I mean? She's like, I've been getting this same color, but she was investing in herself. Looking good, feeling good. She had all of her teeth. This is 90 plus years old now. And this was in the beginning of me being a dentist. I'm like, dang, I was really shocked. Like, I'm thinking when you get older, it's dentures. Things have changed. It's all about how you invest in yourself. It's all about how you value yourself. All about how you value your teeth, even. It's all about you. You know what I mean? It's not about other people. I'm not a troll. I'm saying that you convey yourself with confidence. So it only takes 3 words about anything to tell a fella with ears that this gal is on point. She's no assistant. Yeah, but they will still try you. Like, you're the assistant. I haven't got that in a while, but I used to get that all the time as a new dentist in other people's office, like all the time. I honestly had to wear my white coat because I don't want y'all to be screwing up and calling me the assistant, but they did that a lot. Now, I stopped asking who is choosing me, and you should stop asking who is choosing you and start asking, am I choosing myself at a premium level? Right? Because the greatest asset we will ever manage, guys, is who? Is you. Is you. Is you. You are the greatest asset you will ever manage. And you got to say, I refuse to let my asset depreciate. Because, you know, life is already, as you get older, you already depreciating a little bit. But you can't just let it happen. You at least got to fight it. You can't just fall down and fold. Oh, Lord, I'm 60. I'm done. I'm cooking meat. And you got a whole another 30 years. You done gave up already? No, you 50 years old. You done gave up. You don't walk. You don't work out. You don't do nothing. You just... No. No. We not doing that. Not over here. We are not doing that. Right? So this week, I want you to audit your assets and know who you are. Now, I want to know if y'all got any questions. Any questions? And if not, I'm going to keep on running my mouth. I'm just talking. First, I need to loosen this up. Keep running my mouth and talking. I talked earlier about like aging and knowing your intrinsic value. Cause y'all know I'm gonna be 40 in a week, so I just been on this whole I gotta document my 30s before it end. I gotta document my 30s before it's over with, y'all. Oh, Lord. Anywho. So So we've been taught that value peaks early. You know, we had this guy. Whoop whoop, 40 Club, no! Do you have a mentorship program? Love loves me. I don't, but I do have a school, but I gotta reactivate it. But I would love to have a mentorship program. I should do that. You think I should do that? Like start a mentorship? Cause don't welcome me to the club yet. I'm still in the 30s club, bro. I ain't 40 yet. I got 7 days. I'm holding on to my 7 days, okay? When I used to get price arguments from customers, my line was always, there are no apologies in Mercedes-Benz commercial. I ain't no Kia. I know that's right. I ain't no dang on Kia now. I'm a Mercedes.
You looking real sussy over there.
Like, dang, you think you can discount your worth?
What do you mean by that?
What you mean by that? Because I don't know what that means. Because listen, as you get older and older and you keep fighting, you keep your asset appreciating, guess what? What you gonna do when they come for you? Doc, you're timeless, looking 20, sounding 80. I sound 80. That is too funny. All right, so there was this guy. He used to be on the internet. I think he did pass away. I think his name was Kevin Samuels. I used to talk to women really rough, tell them, "Oh no, you ain't gonna get no man. You too." I never really listened to him. I always hear people like talking about him, and especially when he passed, it was like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" I don't really know much. I never really listened, but I heard the kind of topics because somebody told me, "Oh, when you get to this age, you lose your value." How, man? The fuck? 80 wise, I know what you mean. I just thought it was funny. I know what you mean. Long as you look and feel good, that's all that matters. Facts. That's all that matters. But the thing is now, you ain't gonna just stay looking good and feeling good without putting that investment into your asset. This is what we talking about. You have to invest into you. Because it doesn't just happen. And Buster Brown, I know you know because you work out when you crossed over. It's like you have to work out. Otherwise, downhill. I told them earlier on my live. I said people always say 40 is the new 20, but for some people 40 is the new 80 because they didn't take care of themselves. For some people 60 is the new 95, and for some people 20 is the new 45. Now I met patients and hold on, let me explain myself. Let me explain myself. I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. So I had even patients who, I don't know, they came from rough background. They didn't have brushing and flossing taught in the home, different situations, poverty, and they come in needing a full denture, and it's really, really sad. It's really, really sad. That's why I say 20 sometimes is the new 70 if you don't take care of yourself, or if you're in an underserved environment and you don't know that you're an asset. And especially when it comes to teeth, this is one asset that will aid you overnight if you lose your teeth. It will aid you overnight. So, as you age and as we get older, you really must know your intrinsic values, because we were taught that value peaks early. Your youth, your attention, your external value. But that's all market value. We're not talking about market value. We're talking about intrinsic value. There's a difference. On the market, it might be like, oh, you too. Listen, I'm fine like wine on the inside and outside, and you can't tell me my intrinsic value. That's an internal job. I just had a tooth pulled 2 weeks ago. Oh, it should be healed by now. Was it a wisdom tooth? M.A.? Was it a wisdom tooth? And the thing is with teeth, like Like I said, sometimes 22 is the new 82 or the new 62. When people have a really, really rough young life, when people have a really, really in their 20s, they just go hard. They party hard. They go hard. They don't care. They're not depreciating their assets. They're not studying. They're not learning. They're just damaging their bodies, and it does damage your body. Molar tooth 18 next to the wisdom tooth. Okay, you definitely need that one. Are you gonna get like an implant to replace it? I think an implant would be a great idea to replace it if you are qualified for it, of course. Because once you lose that tooth, the other teeth in front of it can go back into the place and, cause your teeth to shift. Yes, perfect. I'll commute. I can't let strangers into my mouth. I got a hot mess, doc. It's genetic. What do you mean? It's genetic. You got a hot... No, you can always turn the situation around. Don't let it just go. Because a lot of people who come in here, I've had patients come to me, and they have been like severe calculus, severe, like the most I ever seen. And a year later, their tissues, their gum tissues look 100% better because they started caring intrinsically. They stopped saying, okay, well, the market value, like you saying, well, it was in my family, it's because of my genetics. But when you learn about the intrinsic value, bacteria, you can control these things. Of course, you have to go to the dentist and see what's going on and maybe get a diagnosis to see what type of bacteria is there. But if you are an asset, I'm going to tell y'all, one of the biggest assets you can protect is your teeth. You know what I mean? Your teeth. Like, brush your teeth, floss your teeth. This isn't an oral hygiene live right now, but I'm always gonna throw some oral hygiene in there. But make sure you doing that, brushing, flossing, going to get those 6-month checkups. And like you said, Pitt, hey, my mouth, I can't let strangers into my mouth. You gotta let someone into your mouth. I have patients who haven't been to the dentist in 17 years, 15 years because they just embarrassed, or they have let it go on too long and they feel like people are going to judge them. But the dental office is probably the safest place you're going to be, especially if you vet the dentist out first. I wouldn't say let a stranger into your mouth. I'm saying let someone into your mouth who is highly recommended. Let someone into your mouth who you've done your research on, or just go to the first visit. Hey, I just want to do a consult. So you can gotta get the doctor's energy. And once you find a doctor that you really like, you will know. That's all I can say. You will know. It ain't gonna be a thing that's gonna be like, oh, this doctor match my style. Every doctor not gonna match your style, and they may make you feel embarrassed, and all that ain't your doctor. If you go to a dentist and they make you feel like, oh my God, you ain't been no, that's not your doctor. That's somebody who is very inconsiderate, and they got the high horse, and they forget that people are very self-conscious about teeth. Now, I know that people are self-conscious about teeth, so when I have those patients who come in embarrassed, I already know how they feel, and I already have to just, maybe I have to do the exam by myself in the room because, they feel very self-conscious. It's not a joke. Knock me out. Hold on. I haven't ever been lazy about my brushing. My people have been in dentures by 30. I'm over 50. But you still have your teeth right. Knock me out, then go to work. I gotta trust somebody. What you need to get knocked out for? You said you got a hot mess. You said people have been in dentures by 30, but you're over 50. So if you're over 50 and you have your teeth, that means you did better than the people who were in dentures by 30. Now, a lot of times that's just from the lack of education. I ain't gonna even hold you. I meet a lot of patients who come in and they have a lack of education in the family about the importance of teeth, because teeth isn't a popular subject. If I come on talking about teeth, it's just not really popular, even though everybody got teeth mostly. Even if you got dentures, you still need to eat. You still have to chew. Without teeth, you're going to have a very poor quality of life. So I would urge anyone who is hesitant about going to see the dentist to find a dental home. Even if you can get in there once a year and just pay out of pocket, all this insurance stuff, scratch that. If y'all buy clothes, shoes, new hair, you getting your makeup done, you going out of town to Jamaica, you just got that new car, what about your teeth, bro? the teeth. My last dentist was in the Navy. Knee on my forehead? What? Nah, he would have had my fist in his... Let me stop. Knee on your forehead? Boy, I done heard some crazy things. Knee on the forehead? No. Wearing my face out, I ain't volunteering for that again. Nah, you can't go to a Navy dentist. You going to the military dentist. That's probably one of the, I'm not going to say the worst places to go, because there are great military dentists. I don't want to be that biased, but it is a military, so they going to be very like, open your mouth. Shut up. I'm just kidding. But bro, what?
Oh, hell no, man.
No, they had their knee on your forehead. Listen, sir, whatever you got going on, I think you need to go back to dental school so you can take your knee off my forehead. Right, go back to school, because what are we doing here? Okay, so we talking about our intrinsic value that increases with experience. You know, your intrinsic value, how you value yourself, the more experience you have, this is going to improve. It increases with your discernment of situations and people. We don't talk enough about how important discernment is. What you doing for your B-Day? Hey, what I'm doing for my B-Day, you already know, cuz. You already know I'm turning up in the city. I was going to come home, but I could work with you, Doc. I can trust you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you will be a great patient. You know what I mean? Turning up. That's what I'm doing for my birthday. I know it's not on topic, but I had to ask. Yeah, I'm going to be turning up, doing some new things that I've never done before. I will definitely keep you guys posted, because I'm going to be live on my birthday, 227, and telling y'all what I decided to do for my big day. I'm doing something that I think is grown and sexy. I'm doing something that I've never done before, and I think it's going to be super fun. I'll give y'all a hint. That's the only hint you get until next Friday. I'm going to give you a hint again. Hey, what y'all think it is that I'm doing for my birthday? Anybody can guess? I give you $5 cash app right now. You can guess what I'm doing for my birthday. Thank you for the rose. Thank you, cuzzy. What y'all think I'm doing for my birthday? I don't think nobody gonna get it right. I don't know. I'm gonna give y'all one more hint. Hey, okay, y'all probably not gonna figure it out. So your intrinsic value increases with experience, discernment, pattern recognition, regulating your emotions with your standards, and your self-awareness. Time doesn't reduce intrinsic value. It actually reveals your intrinsic value. Skydiving, moonwalking. Okay, moonwalking is close. I will be moonwalking. You kind of close, cuz. Not skydiving. MJ concert. You're very close, but MJ's not here, so y'all very close. Hey, y'all very close. Moonwalking, MJ concert, right on point. But you got to get the full answer. I'm going to send you $5 to the cash out. I don't know why. If anybody get it. Anybody? No. So, intrinsic value, like I said, your your experience, discernment, recognizing patterns, and being self-aware. So people think that your intrinsic value declines as you get older. Remember, that's market value, right? That's the market value. We're not talking about internal value. Your internal value is always going to increase the more experiences you have, the more you travel, the more you fail, the more you experience life and mess up and do shit that ain't right. The more you practice discernment with people and you set your boundaries, your value actually increases. Don't let these people lie to you. The more you get older, guess what else you start doing? You start emotional regulation. This means everything don't knock you the same way it used to. You don't get angry like you used to. You don't argue with every situation like you used to. You know how to pick your battles. In every situation, 9.5 times out of 10, it's not a battle for you. Because remember, we don't battle, we don't compete when we are the asset. Okay? So, youth is attractive. Yes, and you can always stay youthful. Look at Angela Bassett. Look at Angela. She in her 60s, bro. Like, let's just take her as a role model. There's another lady, Annette Larkins. She was in her 80s. She's probably 80 something, but she looked like she in her 30s. Y'all look her up. Annette Larkins. MJ holographic concert. You really close with the concert, but it's not a concert. It's kind of like a concert, but it's not a concert. Now, I told y'all too many hints. I told y'all I'm turning up in the city. I told y'all I'm turning up in the city, right? That should be enough. I'm turning up in the city with MJ. Nobody know yet. My first 3 cassettes: Thriller, Dancing on the Ceiling, and Huey Lewis Sports. Thriller night. Hey, I can't wait. I'm gonna turn it up. Y'all follow me to make sure y'all see what I'm doing. It's gonna be like, oh dang, I should have guessed that. It ain't really something like crazy. It's something I actually thought y'all would get. Anywho, so youth is attractive, but wisdom is powerful. And when you young, you don't really have the wisdom, that you would have when you get older. So wisdom commands respect. That's the thing that happens when you get older and your asset continues to appreciate and you get wiser. You might lose your youth if you're not exercising, but hopefully you still invest in your looks. But wisdom is the power. This is why your intrinsic value cannot decrease if you don't let it. When you age with intention, you gain the ability to read behavior real fast. I'm just saying, you be like, ooh. Drama avoided. Okay. When you age with intention, you gain the ability to detach from people quicker. Yeah. You gain the ability to detach a lot quicker. You be like, you know what?
Not around here, partner. Not around here.
Not around here, partner. You be like, nah, not around here. Not today. You be like,
Oh, hell no, man.
I'm out. You be like, no. You gain the ability to walk away from situations that don't align with you cleaner, without the drama, without the, you don't even fall for that. This is what happens when you become wiser. Okay? You be like, yeah, you know what? Not for me. That's why a lot of people stop clubbing. They get older. They get wiser. They realize, I've been doing this for 20, 40 years. It's time to do something else, bro. It's time to really do something else. Now, what else? You gain the ability to see long-term consequences faster. Now, as an adult, you got a date, dog. Go toward the Hit Factory or Electric Lady Studios. The Hit Factory or Electric Lady Studios? I never heard of them. Let me write that down. The Hit Factory? Have I heard of the Hit Factory? I think I have heard of the Hit Factory. But that's not it either, guys. When y'all see what I'm gonna be doing, y'all gonna be like, Dr. Sean, I should have known that. It's New York City, like, should have known what I'm talking about. You said the Hit Factory. Let me write this down in my little notebook. Or the Electric Lady Studio. I ain't never heard of that. The Hit Factory or Electric Lady. Oh, you asking me, am I going there? No, I'm not going there. MJ recorded there. I'm not going to the Hit Factory or Electric Lady Studios. I should go to the studios. Thank you for following. Y'all not gonna guess it. I done gave y'all too many hints and y'all still ain't guess it yet. So, the $5 about to be off the table. Because ain't nobody guess it. Now, I ain't gonna take it off the table. If anybody guess it, then we just still gonna do it. But I don't think y'all gonna get it. Okay?
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm just kidding. I'm so excited for you. Even if I can't guess what you're doing, my roommate used to be an engineer at Electric Lady for Citizen Cope. Oh, cool. That's really, really cool. Yeah, I'm excited too. It's going to be a time had. I can tell you that much. Actually, you know what? I am doing 2 things I've never done before on my birthday. The one thing is super, super scary. It's not skydiving though. I think my skydiving days is probably over with. I don't know if I can skydive right now. That was one of the things I always wanted to do, but I never got a chance to do it. And I'm like 40 now. And, well, I'm not 40 yet. Let me stop. I'm like almost 40, and I don't know. I don't know if there's an age limit to skydive, but I feel like as soon as I jump out of that plane, I'm going to be like, I don't want to do this. Ah! You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Pip Snipe, Husker, MJ the Musical. I'm going to Broadway. Hey, Broadway. Broadway, you got it. Hey. You gotta send me your Cash App. Or your Venmo. Hug, sister. So excited for you. Yay! Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be my first time at Broadway. And listen, Broadway. Woo! The MJ musical was like, woo. But I'm excited to go. I've never been to Broadway. I just wanted to enter 40 feeling like grown and like, I don't know. I feel like Broadway's something grown people do. I don't know. But I'm going to go and tell y'all how it was. Have y'all ever been to Broadway? Have you ever been to Broadway? Anybody? Yeah, I'm going to see MJ the Musical. I'm going to be turning up in the Broadway. Night. Okay. Thriller. Hey, that's gonna be me next week. Oh, too funny. Spend your winnings on you. Yay! I love that. I appreciate that. Hey. And I love to dance, so we're going to be turning up at the Broadway. I hope my neighbor's like, oh, girl, you dancing too much. This is Broadway. All right, appreciation versus perishability when it comes to your emotions. So some things persist with time. Other things appreciate with time. So cheap materials, if you got a cheap material, if you cheap, if you make yourself cheap, your value is really low. You just allow anything to happen. You saying yes to everything when you want to say no. You don't know how to discern. People still getting over on you. Then, you know what I mean? You gon' deteriorate your value. Fleet Week 94.95. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means. Fleet Week 94.95. So cheap materials depreciate. Fine materials mature. Just like diamonds, they're going to get better with time. Wine gets better with time. It's the same with your intrinsic value. Like aged wine. If your real estate is in the right location, a well-run company with history, a seasoned professional like me, I'm a seasoned professional. I'm celebrating 10 years of dental school this year. I'm like, my classmate like, hey, Doc, you coming to the 10-year reunion? I'm like, 10 years? What? 10 years? Yeah, bro. 10 years ago, I graduated this year. I can't believe it. That's what I'm saying. Having a midlife confrontation. I'm going to let go. I don't have a choice. So all of these things that you go through in life that allow you to age like fine wine, this is going to add depth and value to who you are. So don't feel like because you older, people talking about you, your market value, man, bump all that. You still got value. You're very intelligent, you're wise, and that's irreplaceable. Aging with awareness builds the depth that you need. So if you aging and you're aware of the oral hygiene requirements, you're aware that your body is going to age if you don't do nothing to it. You're aware that, Social Security won't be enough to have you with the quality of life that you desire. You will set yourself up to be, in a position in the future where you will age like fine wine versus like, I don't know, cheap Moscato. Fleet Week is a Navy celebration every June. Go see the USS Intrepid sometime. You have fun. I almost went to the USS Intrepid one time. I think that was for like my 27th birthday. I did like a New York City tour then. And I didn't go. I don't know why I didn't go. I don't know why. But I should definitely check that out. Now, intrinsic value is not based on demand. What do I mean by that? So market value changes based on trends. So remember, if you going about your market value, people might say, oh, you ain't valuable no more because you're older. But when we talk about your intrinsic value, it does not change based on trends. It is based on the substance that is actually inside of you. Okay? It depends on the things that you are pursuing. Your confidence depends on, if your confidence depends on being pursued, or if your confidence depends on feeling validated, being admired, compared, then your value is still market dependent. I'm going to say that again. I ain't shaved or had a haircut in 15 years. I get prettier every day. I know that's right. 15 years, that's a long time. Dang, get your hair like down your back, like that's a long time. I'm interested to know. But yeah, so if your confidence is depending on being pursued, because remember, you the asset, you don't chase, you don't beg, none of that shit. If your confidence is based on being validated by the social media, you want so many likes. If your confidence depends on somebody admiring you versus you admiring yourself and who you are and thinking that you so lit, can't nothing stop you. If your confidence is based on being compared with other people, you strolling on the internet, you like, dang, they doing this and I'm only doing this, then, this is market value level dependency. We got to get away from that. If your confidence comes from another set of tools, such as your self-trust, you trust yourself, discipline, we talk about discipline, competence. Now, how value is it to be competent in order to be confident? That's a little tongue tie. If your confidence comes from health, because you working out, you feeling good about yourself, yeah, you eating healthy, your confidence comes from boundaries with people because you don't let the boundaries. It's like if I want to say yes, it's a yes. If I want to say no, it's a no. This is confidence building and emotional maturity. Then this is intrinsic value. This means you're getting your value from the inside of you because all these different things that I just mentioned, it all has something to do with you. No one else. No one else can develop your self-trust because it's all about if you trust yourself. Some people don't trust themselves. Right? It's all about discipline. Nobody else can make you be disciplined. That's an internal thing. Competence, health, boundaries, and emotional maturity. This is all an inside job. What? We carried George Bush Sr.'s Avenger plane from to the Intrepid Museum back in '94. We watched Joan Jett and the Black Hearts on the flight. It was a solid party. I don't even know who those people are. Joan Jett and the Black Hearts. Dang. I guess I still am a little young because I don't know who the hell that is, Pitt. I don't know who that is. I know who George Bush Sr. is, I think, but even him, I don't really know them. But I would definitely have to go check out the Intrepid because that thing is huge. But y'all know how I feel about war. Like, I'm not a fan of war. I wonder what sound this is.
This world were mine. Hey, Roman numeral 7, baby, drop it. If this world was mine, I'd take your dreams and if this world was...
All right. Yeah, that was a little sidebar. Okay, so that's intrinsic. So your intrinsic value doesn't crash during external volatility. It just doesn't crash. Because you're not worried about the market. You worrying about what's inside of you. Somebody on the market could be like, dang, you worthless. But on the inside, you worth $1 million. Priceless, $1 billion. And you don't care what they feel. Because they ain't even competent. Aging sharpens your standards. How many people know this to be true? That aging will sharpen your standards. As you age, your tolerance gets lower for stuff. I meet a lot of older people who like, you know what, I'm done with relationships because I done met my limit. I don't have a tolerance for it. The only thing I could tolerate is me. My daddy like that. You know what? I don't want nobody. I got the tolerance for it no more. It's not because you're bitter. It's because you are calibrated. And when you get calibrated, this means you done seen enough patterns. You done gathered enough info over your life. You got all the data you need. You experienced enough heartbreak. You experienced enough upset. You experienced enough good. You experienced enough in your 20s and 30s. And as you get older, now your tolerance goes down. Before, when you were 20, you were like yes to everything. You ain't have no boundaries. You was just trying to figure out life. But as you get older, this all disappears for most people. Most people learn to be competent and they trust themselves to make good decisions. So those patterns that they seen, they recognize like, oh, that's a pattern. I'm not fooling with that. Oh, you doing that? Yeah, no. You be like, no. And it becomes so easy for you to recognize that. It becomes easy to recognize patterns and the tolerance lowers. So discernment is something that you earn as you get older. And discernment protects your value. If you don't, a lot of young people don't know how to discern, so they will get in bad relationships, or they can't read the signs, or you know what I mean. So discernment is something that we have to earn. I'll focus now. LOL. Sorry about the ADHD distractions, Doc. Laughing my fucking ass off. Listen, I don't mind. This isn't distractions, guys. Listen. No distractions. I'm only talking if you guys aren't talking. If you guys ask me questions, what I'm talking about, I can always come back to what I'm talking about. I actually prefer if the audience interrupt me and ask questions. Otherwise, I just sit here talking like we in class, and we not in class. I'm just talking. We not in class. So yeah, y'all can interrupt me, ask questions. I'm not really like, this ain't school, y'all. I appreciate the commentary. I really do. Okay. So the next thing is the glow up is internal first. I'm listening. All right. Okay. All of these sounds is so funny. The glow up is internal first, right? People chase cosmetic upgrades. Now, we in a society where a lot of people look in the mirror and they want to change the outside first. And in this society, you can change anything you want about you. You can change your toes, your toenail. You can change your kneecap. You can change your butt. You can change your boobs. You can change your hair. You can change your teeth. You can change your eyelashes. You can change your, I already said hair. You can change your lips. What else you can change? You can change your arms. You can change your stomach. You can change pretty much anything you want with cosmetic upgrades. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Sometimes a cosmetic upgrade does not fix the person inside, because the real glow up is when you have a stable nervous system and peace, right? The real glow up is when you have calm decision making and you're not allowing the volatility of life to make you make rash decisions, mad decisions, angry decisions, pissed off decisions. You know what I mean? The real glow up is when you have financial literacy. Now, some people overlook that, but that is something we lack in the hood. We lack that. We lack calm decision making. Y'all already know in the hood, it's all about going from 0 to 100 real quick, because ain't nobody finna try me. Oh, no, you ain't finna try me. Oh, no, I'm finna. You know what I mean? Y'all already know how it is in the hood. I mean, maybe y'all don't know how it is in the hood. But that's how it is in the hood, It's like, hey, people be ready to, you know what I mean, in the hood. It's like, oh, you done said this, let me just, you feel me? That's how they be in the hood. No calm decision-making skills. That's not a glow-up. Nervous system all off the chain. Just all over the place. That's not a glow-up. The real glow up is emotional independence. You're not relying on other people to control your emotions. You're not relying on external, outside things that's happening to get you out of whack with how you feel, to make you negative, to make you forget what your whole life is about because you got so much invested into negative shit, right? The glow up is really self-respect. Do you respect yourself? When you look in the mirror, when you're alone with yourself, do you respect yourself? Is your nervous system calm? This is energy that will radiate and allow us to glow. And it doesn't expire like the market value. So if you get caught up on the looks, you keep trying to change the looks, you're gonna do this, and you're free to do whatever you want. By all means, be you, do you, but don't forget to work on the inside, is what I'm saying. If you're going to glow up the outside, really the real work is internal glow up. Because you can't appreciate yourself if you change the outside first. Your inside haven't changed. You're going to walk out the same person. You just look a little different. But the inside may still feel broken. The inside may still feel insecure. The inside may still be relying on outside validations for people to hype you up, for people to say, oh, you look good, for people to, you got to do this to yourself so that no one in the world can decrease your value. Not one person can decrease your intrinsic value. Not one person. Only you can do that. It's an inside job, guys. Scarcity increases the value. So once we talked about scarcity earlier, there's only one of you. There's only one of you. It will never be another version of you. Like, never. They're going to never be another Dr. Sean. Ain't going to ever be another her. Okay? Never. Never be another her. It's going to never be another you. Right? So you are a scarce person. You live with your experiences, all the lessons that you learned, all of the emotional growth that you went through, all the resilience and the evolution that makes us who we are. And as we age, this uniqueness sharpens us. That scarcity is a value. So for me, when I was younger, trying to figure out who I am, not really having a lot of intrinsic value, but just trying to figure it out, I didn't really have any experience. I didn't really know how scarce I was. So I might have been just like trying to find value everywhere. Because I didn't have my mom. She's deceased. Gone, she's not here. I have my dad. So you trying to figure out, damn, where do I find my intrinsic value? Because when my mom, before she passed, she used to pour that into me. Like, she just be so positive. Like the affirmations. And when she left at 6, 7, 8 years old, it's like, dang, where do I find that? You find it inside of you. You got to find it inside of yourself. You can't rely on mom forever to hype you up. Even though it is a blessing if you got your mama hyping you up to the end. That's a blessing. But some of us ain't like that. Everybody don't have that privilege. If you do, listen. That is amazing. But you still, even if you got somebody hyping you up, you still must embed this into yourself so that you can become a better version of yourself and know that you are scarce. Meaning you rare. Some people be like, 1 in a million. No, you're 1 in none. There's nobody who has lived your experiences, who has gained the specific lessons you've had, and who has your emotional growth. For me, there's nobody who went through what I went through hood to hood. There's nobody in my life in the planet of Earth who went through the experience I went through. Right? I have that. I have a scary visage. I like that. If you can't hear my words over the distraction of my appearance, then I don't want to talk to you. My beard and ponytail. Facts. If you can't appreciate the intrinsic me, you hit it on the head. Yes. There we go. You said it. If you can't appreciate the intrinsic me, you will never be able to appreciate the external me, the extrinsic me. You would never be able to appreciate it. Never. You will never be able to appreciate it. And my old ass haggard personage scares off idiots. Personage. What? That's crazy. See, me, I get to meet as a dentist, I get to meet so many people from all walks of life, and I guess I'm in the field because I've grown and I became this scarce person that I can interact with people from all ages of life. It doesn't matter the color. It doesn't matter the age. It could be a little kid, an older person. I've had 90-year-olds, and that's the thing about life. You go through these experiences where you learn to appreciate the intrinsic value of people, but that doesn't come with all people. Some people stay on the market value. The guy who I was talking about earlier, the Kevin Samuels guy who was all on the internet, telling women, oh, you did. No, you're not appreciating these people intrinsic value. You get what I'm saying? It was all about the market value, and you can't really go through life just based on the market value because you're going to get older. And if you always looking in the mirror, looking at your market value, yes, that's important to be young and beautiful, but just know that ain't all of you. You way more deeper than that. You got so much inside of you that makes you super unique. Okay? And the last one is maturity is compound interest. So compound interest grows. If you let it sit, it just grows and grows and grows, which is why a lot of kids don't know about financial literacy. They don't know about investing, compound interest. And we started this whole topic talking about our emotional portfolio. So your emotional portfolio, it has a lot of things in it that you must have in the portfolio that are balanced. Community, self-worth, self-respect, education, skills, all of these, health, physical and mental health. All of these things contribute to your emotional portfolio. Not all the outside stuff, the drama, the arguing, the disrespectful relationships, the jobs, whatever is in your life that is deteriorating and making you depreciate. This is not helping you mature. But when you focus on you and your intrinsic value and your peace, every boundary you set, every discipline you build, this is all compound interest. right? Every self-betrayal you stop tolerating, when you set those boundaries, this is all compound interest. Every standard you hold high, you don't let people lower your standards. This is compound interest. And all of that compounds, and you become someone truly, truly self-anchored. You know, not someone reacting to anything and everybody and the noise anymore. You become someone who is stable. And stability, I'm going to tell you guys, stability is rare and it's valuable. So never let anybody destroy your intrinsic, well, they can't destroy your intrinsic value because it's all about you. You know what I mean? Now, in closing, I want y'all to know that aging isn't decline, it is refinement, just like wine. Okay? Your intrinsic value doesn't decline, it doesn't fade like people say, it just deepens, it goes deeper. All right? Now, I think I done talked enough on here. I think I done talked enough. I'm going to get off of here, find me something to eat. Whoa, 23.3K hearts. Hey, vanity used to be a mortal sin. Now it's an industry. Yeah, it's definitely an industry. You know, people are very, especially nowadays with the internet, social media, it's all about really looks for a lot of people. Give me a drink of that wine, Doc. LOL. Right, I need some wine right now. I ain't gonna even hold you. But thank y'all for the 23.3K hearts. Love loves me. Thank you for tapping those hearts. Thank you for following HD McFly, my cousin, tapping the hearts, sending roses. MA for commenting. All you guys for just chilling and hanging out with me today. I'm about to get off of here and go relax. And I will holla Pit Sniper. Thank you for chatting on YouTube. And if y'all don't have any questions for me, I'm going to get out of here. Because I'm hungry. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Bye, guys. Oh, I didn't even see y'all on Instagram. What? Oh, dang. What happened? Let's see. Anywho, I'm out of here, guys. Bye.